National gun debate comes a home invasion story out of Georgia, where a young mother was able to save her family from an intruder because she had a revolver inside of her house. Trace Gallagher live in our West Coast newsroom with that story. Trace?
Megan, happened about 30 miles outside of Atlanta. A mother was home with her 9-year-old twins. A man began knocking on the door. She didn't answer because she didn't want to deal with any salesman. And then the suspect began ringing the doorbell again and again and again. That's when she called her husband. Her husband then called 911. She grabbed a .38 revolver and her twins, and they ran to a nearby closet. They stayed in that closet. The suspect then broke into the house and began ransacking the entire house. He then walked upstairs and opened the closet door. Listen.
All of a sudden, the crawl space door opens where she and her two children are, and she's face to face with this perpetrator.
And then
who's in turn staring at her and her two kids and a .38 revolver.
What'd she do next?
She fires all 6 shots.
All 6 shots hitting the suspect in the face and the neck. The suspect lay face down on the ground crying. The woman tells him if he moves, she will keep shooting, but he gets up, stumbles out of the house, into his car, drives away, but crashes in nearby woods. The cops show up seconds later. The woman takes her twins to a neighbor's house next door for safety. The cops arrest the suspect and say the woman with the .38 revolver did exactly the right thing. Megan.
It's unbelievable, that story. I mean, they called 911. She tried to, lock the door. She tried to hide. She tried to protect the children, avoid confrontation, and confrontation was set on finding her. All right, Trace, thank you. For more now, we're going to bring in Lars Larson, who's a syndicated radio host, and he's been on the program a number of times. Hi, Lars, talking about gun rights, and has said publicly that he's a proud gun owner and is concerned about additional crackdowns on the gun laws. Now, .38 revolvers, I don't think, would be within the scope of any new laws, right, Lars? Because they're looking at more assault-type weapons, not sort of personal home protection?
Except for this. Remember this, Donnie Herman's wife, whose name is still being withheld by the police, and I think that's prudent, she's a very brave woman, and she did exactly the right thing. The problem is, she was confronting one intruder. If she'd been confronting 3, she ran out of bullets on the one intruder, and he was still able to get up, go out to the driveway, and drive his car away. If she'd been confronting 3 people, she would have been out of bullets way too early, and that's one reason why most people, including most police officers and most people who care about protecting our homes, want a gun that is capable of holding more than that and capable of reloading very quickly. This is what the president's plan will go after. And if you take the Feinstein proposal, which you can see on the senator's website, she would actually say that if you have a gun that holds more than 10 bullets, you are not allowed to buy one after her plan passes. You're not allowed to sell it. You're not allowed to transfer it to a family member or a friend. You're not allowed to leave it to your children after you're gone. This is the kind of implication it has for American families to take away the right to own the kind of gun that they need to protect their home. This woman was very fortunate and very courageous, but this president wants to take away people's rights to own the appropriate tool to repel an invader or invader into their house.
That's a fascinating